All right, welcome to episode 56 of ToonamiGAF podcast. Everything is on fire. I'm Greg Zeno. With us today we have B-Dubs,
Hello, I'm coming to you from my bunker.
C. Kohler,
Hello.
and Schadenfreude.
Yo.
And this week, we're here to talk about this week. The new box office sensation, King Arthur.
I'm disappointed it's not getting good reviews. I like Guy Ritchie movies.
What is his most famous movie?
Sherlock Holmes.
There's Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Okay.
Okay, so Sherlock Holmes.
that was then Sherlock Holmes, but like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels is something you got to watch too, because it's very much like those British gangster movies. It sort of created the modern trope for it.
So
Like-
the joke here is that sort of a joke is that was like the only bit of new kind of content for the block itself. So basically, I guess they were advertising that movie, and Tom did an pseudo interview with the actor.
I'm just disappointed it's apparently not reviewing better, because I like Guy Ritchie. I want all his stuff to do well, and this look like the commercials make it look like this is going to be cool. This is going to be cool, but apparently it's crap. But I'll probably go see it on like the $6 Wednesday matinee or something.
Oh, you really wanted to succeed that hard, huh?
Well, I mean, I like Guy Ritchie stuff. He's got a good eye for crap.
I need to support this $6 Wednesday matinee.
Well, I mean, like, I want to see if it's actually crap or not, but I'm not going to pay full price.
That's real commitment there.
Hey, I'm paying for it. That's more than most people do.
That's true.
I mean,
I could go down to Chinatown and get it for like $2.50.
I'm sure he'll be fine. Guy Ritchie isn't gonna go broke because you don't pay full price for his movie, so
No, definitely.
he'll be fine.
Plus, I'm
Guy
surprised
Ritchie's going to go broke because of the alcohol.
Well, there ain't nothing wrong
I
with
have
that.
no idea if Guy Ritchie drinks or not. Anyway,
Well, he's British, so he probably does.
let's talk about Samurai Jack. Samurai Jack, episode 60. On this episode of Samurai Jack, Tumblr.
Explodes. Yeah, Tumblr went boom.
I actually did go to Tumblr after the episode aired, and some of the reactions are just crazy. People are going nuts about it.
Oh yeah, like there's people that apparently shipped Jack and Johnny Bravo based on like that one commercial they had on like Cartoon Fridays, where they're like, doing their laundry in the same place. I'm like, there was like no romantic subtext in that thing at all. It's like two bros doing laundry. It's like, no, they're totally gay for each other.
I feel that there is an entire fan art community based on Jack X Johnny Bravo.
There is, and it's disturbing.
I feel no sympathy for Tumblr in the sense that they seem to want to have their cake and eat it too, because isn't this exactly the kind of thing they should be into, is a whole episode dedicated to just shipping two characters together?
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's not like universal. Everyone on Tumblr hates it. Like, half of Tumblr likes it, and the other half hates it, and, it's Tumblr. The whole thing is madness. But, I liked the episode, though.
That's what I was about to say. So let's talk about, like, our feelings about it. Like, what did you guys think of the episode?
No, I mean, this was, like, for me, I was talking about it in the chat thread, and it's basically, like, the format is one of those sort of old-school mousetrap stories from, like, I want to say like the 50s or the 60s, where it's like, where the ending moment is the thing that's supposed to elicit the reaction, like them making out to Dean Martin, and everything else is just Gendy going, let's see how many, rom-com tropes we can, fit into one episode. As it turns out, you can fit all of them in one episode if you try hard enough.
So we all do realize that entire leech fight was just an extended sex scene.
Oh, of course.
I mean,
Did you see that?
I was saying the same thing. You know, they were screaming, they were moaning. Oh, Jack, Ashi. I mean, it's just ridiculous. They weren't being sewed up about it at all.
No, and then there was Jack trying to get his weapon to work. And he had a little performance anxiety. He couldn't get it to work. And then Ashi gave it a try. And then he's like, no, this isn't working. Let me try again. Like,
we joke, but literally.
Yeah, it was sexual subtext.
From the poison sucking to the end, that is literally an entire sex scene.
Yeah, it's basically a giant sex joke, like they were not subtle with the subtext in this episode at all.
Yeah. Last week's episode of this podcast was subtlety.gif, but I think we should have saved that for this episode. But anyway, my personal feelings are that I actually didn't mind the episode. Like, I thought it's a humorous episode. It really doesn't, I don't think it really helps either of these characters to have them in a relationship, but I don't care enough to mind that they are. So it's like, it's fine. Like, it's just a funny episode because of all the innuendo. That's basically it to me.
I mean, like, I'm sort of interested in how this factors into the ending, because this does sort of add up, personal stakes for Jack that weren't necessarily there before. Like, it gives him a reason. It gives him a reason to be sort of iffy about just jumping in the time portal, and
being like having Ashi on the front line or something. He might try to, give his life to protect her or something. That can play in.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of different stuff they can do with this. So, like, before I say, oh, maybe they shouldn't have done this, or it didn't really matter in the end. Like, I want to see how this plays out, because based on sort of like the episode preview on the TV, it's like Ashi does have a greater role to play in the ending.
I mean, she either dies or he has to leave her behind. That's it.
No, I think the final scene of the show is going to be their family.
That would be very nice if it was. Like, after all the shit Jack went through, I'd be like, okay, he deserves it. Yeah. But at the same time, this really does feel like they're setting up for a bit of a downer.
Maybe.
I kept thinking I don't think... Oh, go ahead.
I'm just saying that I don't think Gandhi, he comes back. He's been wanting to work on this all this time. I don't think he'd do something like that, He wouldn't leave Jack hanging, like, oh, split them up. They're going to do a Doctor Who thing with Jack on one side of the time portal and Ashi on the other. So, I mean, I think definitely there's going to be some trouble there, but it'll work out in the end,
Yeah, I'm hoping it will. I mean, I think, like, one of the major complaints for, like, the last 3 or so episodes that I'm sort of down with is that they haven't been up to sort of where the first 3 were, because those were like the shit you sent to, like, the Academy, so that they mail you your award. But the last 3 have been more sort of like, sort of standard Samurai Jack fare.
It feels like they're kind of torn between, okay, we need to do a single 10-episode season between. We just need to do 10 more episodes of Samurai Jack.
Yeah, like, I kind of wish they did have another season to do it, if only because they could space everything out a little. Like, they could do more one-off episodes, which they are very good at doing.
I agree with you there. I mean, it really does hurt them because Gandhi, I mean, the man just loves making those one-off episodes, those comedic episodes. Yeah. So having only 10 episodes, he wants to do his old Samurai Jack, but at the same time, he's got to keep it up to pace.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also not that he's bad at doing, the multi-part sort of episodes either. I mean, Jack literally started with what was essentially like a 3-part movie type thing.
Yeah, and this episode still fits in that, like, this was probably meant to be in a movie type thing. Yeah. It's a very extended scene of what was probably going to be a fun scene in a movie.
Yeah, like sort of the like it does feel like the montage of, they get to know each other, they fall in love, they make out, that sort of thing, sort of stretched out into a full episode.
Right.
Yeah.
Also,
we only have 2 episodes left of Samurai Jack.
That makes me really sad. I want more.
Yeah,
I know.
It's been a real hit for Adult Swim and Toonami fans, and so it's going to be kind of sad to see it go, I guess.
Like I'm really wishing that DeMarco and everyone they see the success they had with this, and they're like, you know what? We're just going to give Gendy a check. Just fill in what you need to fill in. Give us something good in a year. Like I wouldn't mind him doing 10 episodes of whatever the hell he wants every year.
Before we move on to the next show, if in case we're about to, I just want to mention there was something amazing in this episode as well, which was the Zoidberg Walrus.
Oh man!
Like that is very easy to forget about.
Yeah, but he was actually voiced by Billy West, who does Dr. Zoidberg too.
Yeah, and I'm like, yes, Jack, eat the food from Zoidberg. He has the best palate, just the best. Like he doesn't eat out of trash cans. No.
It'll just turn your head into a fish.
Oh yeah, definitely. And Ashi didn't. The part I love best about that is Ashi just couldn't tell him. Like she couldn't bring herself to be like, Jack, your head turned into a fish. Like she was just hoping, like, it's okay. He's gonna be all right. He's done this before. He probably knows. This is weirding me out. I don't want my head to be a fish. Like, I don't think Jack knew that his head turned into a fish, though.
No, he didn't. That was the joke.
Yeah. I liked the tiger guys, too.
Oh, yeah, and the way that that was a very cool graphic design thing where their shirts would spell out what they're thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they get almost slicing, like, whoa!
Yeah, or like, die, Samurai Jack, or, like, it was a very cool, like, thing, like, I could see the other way they had to like animate that, and it would be very sort of like everyone's done it, like everyone's sort of touching their weapons, and then you have a lot of screaming, but I liked this better.
I mean, this season has not faltered in the visual department.
No, it has not. Well, no, it's far and away the best thing we've got on the block so far, and that is including like Gundam Unicorn, which the only thing it has going for it is Gundam how gorgeous it is.
It is just pretty.
Yeah, like that's the only thing it's got going for it, and it's getting beaten soundly by Samurai Jack right now.
Yeah, I mean, Samurai Jack is more creative in its limited use of form and color, and the one really nice thing you can say, well, 2 really nice things you can say about Unicorn is the art and the music, and the animation in Unicorn is very technically great.
Yeah,
music's
but
good. But Jack is more creative, like it's more like an art piece kind of thing.
Yeah, like Jack is sort of like looking at Nintendo versus like Ubisoft. Like like your general Ubisoft game is gonna look very good. It's gonna look very realistic. It's gonna be animated well. But the Nintendo game is just gonna have that art style, and they're just gonna nail it. And it's gonna look, and you can't help but love that a little more. I just love Jack.
So, looks like next episode is probably Guardian stuff.
Yeah, they do have to cover that, because either that portal is still there, and it's going to lead to a moment of, conflict, or it's gone, and, Jack's going to be like, oh, hell, what the hell do I do now? Like, if he's gone, that'd actually probably make it a little easier for him, so it's probably still there.
Yeah, you're right, man.
Because if it's gone, then he's got no choice. He's got to stay in the future. He doesn't have to choose between going back and changing the past and, his new lady friend.
I just kind of imagine this whole episode as, how the Olympic Village turns into the sex capital of the world, because it's like
yes,
hundreds of young 20-something peak Olympic gods all in one place with nothing better to do.
Yeah, and everyone just bones endlessly.
This is basically that episode.
Yeah, except they didn't have a condom. Well, I mean, okay, they do run out of condoms at the Olympic Sex Village, too.
Yes. Anyway. Speaking of the Olympic Sex Village. Dragon Ball Super. Dragon Ball Super episode 17. Pan is born and Goku fucks off somewhere.
Yeah,
Is that the title?
No,
it should
That would be
be.
amazing.
Goes on a training journey,
Okay.
which is basically a synonym.
Yeah.
Worst grandpa ever.
In this episode, Goku fucks off somewhere.
But not
Yeah.
before making it look like he's having an affair with Bulma.
It's just me, or just Bulma keep getting drawn looking younger.
She does. Like she
She
looked
was
good this
really,
episode.
really off model in this episode.
Yeah.
She was very different looking, yeah. I didn't mind it. I mean, it's not like she looked bad. She just doesn't look quite like Bulma.
Yeah. I mean, are we going to talk about how from like everyone's perspective, but ours, like Goku's got the cell phone that, Bulma gave him and he's just staring at it endlessly. And then the second she calls, he pops over.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I'm like, for everyone else, they got to be wondering, like, what the hell's going on? And Gohan actually gets to the point where he's, okay, I got to find out oh, god damn it, he's training again.
What the fuck is Gohan wearing in this episode?
A sweater vest.
he's wearing dad clothes.
Yeah, he's a dad now. He's got to wear dad clothes. He's not very cool right now.
He is an accountant right now.
No, he's an assistant professor.
In accounting.
He could be either. He could be both. It's just by his looks, yeah.
Yeah, he looks like a nerd.
I'm Gohan, CPA.
Well, somebody in the thread was like upset at the appearance of Gohan because when you look at his arms, he's got like scrawny arms.
Yeah, he's not very built right now. He hasn't trained in a while. He's kind of weak. I do like his hair though. I wish he'd keep that. Like it make whatever transformations he goes through a little, like it make them pop a little more. Sort of like how when Trunks transforms, his hair just changes so much. Like it doesn't just stick up. It's sort of like
Yeah, I follow you.
Like I wish he keeps this.
So
I say that having seen what comes after.
The best moment in this episode has to be Goku breaking through the wall like the fucking
like the
Kool-Aid man or
Kool-Aid Man.
whatever. His lust for training will never end.
Well, his lust for training is only beaten by his lust for like fighting strong guys.
Yeah.
And both of them are going to be the end of the universe one day.
Also, more Whis in this episode.
Yep. And Vegeta's not exactly happy to see Goku.
Nope.
And he's
Well,
sort of
we didn't see him in this episode. That's next episode.
No, it was at the very end of this one, wasn't it?
No.
That was the chaser, right?
Yeah.
The episode preview, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta say that before Goku's actions would have bothered me, he left and, well, I can see Chi-Chi's point of view where, she wants him to stay, she wants him to be part of Pan's life, but, I mean, you don't really need your grandpa that much, to be honest. I mean, it'll be nice to see your grandpa every once in a while, but you can see where Chi-Chi's coming from.
He's got a kid, though.
Yeah.
Like he's got a 10-year-old.
Well, we learned a lot about Chi-Chi. We learned a lot about Chi-Chi in this episode. First of all, she is someone who will take hostages, including family members and friends.
Yeah.
At crazy, probably illegal levels. And then we also learned that as mad as she gets about Goku, the moment he's gone, she's just like, okay, he just does that.
We'll do it again
Krillin
next
is a
time.
cop.
Yes, Krillin passed the exam.
Krillin the narc.
That's about the most appropriate job for him, though, considering his power level.
Yeah, well, I mean, really all of these guys should be like, cops or FBI or something. Like not
no, they're all superheroes.
Well, I mean, not like investigating shit, but I mean, Gohan could be like a detective if he really wanted to, but like the rest of them, like bodyguards and shit. These guys can make bank.
What I'm saying is everyone else is god level superheroes, and then you got Krillin, who's at best could be a powerful cop.
Well, no, I mean like Krillin's like a god compared to to the random schmucks of this world. Like, let's be real.
Really?
The dude can fly, and he's bulletproof.
All right.
I mean, he's basically Superman level to these guys.
So it is a little strange, I guess, that he's a cop. He ought to be more than a cop.
Yeah, he should. I mean, he could probably be like protecting Dog King or something.
I mean, Goku could make him killing in construction. Demolition.
He'd probably like that better than farming, because he gets to smash stuff.
They should just call it training, Chi-Chi should be like, oh, this is training. You have to destroy this house in less than a day, and it'll help raise your ki level.
He'd probably buy that too. That's the sad part. No, I liked that sort of scene with Mr. Satan and Gohan playing with Pan. Like it sort of shows that Gohan got his parenting skills from like the one guy in his fam that he knows that is actually probably a decent parent.
You mean Piccolo, right?
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, Piccolo. Like I'm thinking of there's an episode later on where Piccolo babysits and it's the greatest thing ever.
I want to just skip to that episode. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just asking if that's from the movie or from the series itself. Like
No, there's like an episode later on in the series where, Piccolo's, like, it's not a full episode, it's sort of like a scene, and it's like the greatest thing you've ever seen in your life. Because...
All right, don't spoil it.
No, I'm not going to say anything about it other than,
Other than we know it's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, how is it not going to happen, though? It's like...
What? That's the last thing I would expect Piccolo to do, is to babysit someone.
Like, seriously, he's Gohan's dad. What do you expect him to say no?
I don't know, okay.
That's true. He's the only real grandpa.
Yeah, he's the only grandpa that sticks around.
Yeah, he's Pan's true grandpa, that's for sure.
Anyway, let's move on to Dragon Ball Z Kai.
Mm-hmm.
Dragon Ball Z Kai, the final chapter is episode 116. Don't sell Super Saiyan short. Vegeta and Goku's full bore power, in which, jobbers job.
Jobbers job endlessly.
At some point, one wonders, it's like, this is the fucking Supreme Kai. He doesn't know shit.
He's a little dumb.
Yeah, he's a little bitch.
Ooh, somebody's playing Mario Kart, huh?
Not me, man. I mean, Supreme Kai being, can he see things all around the world? We see him later in Dragon Ball Super, and they can look at Earth with super sight or magic or something. But, he doesn't know anything about Goku, Like, you think Goku would be more famous to people who are supposed to be watching Earth,
Yeah, like Frieza was like an intergalactic tyrant. You think he'd have been paying attention to the guy that beat him,
Dr. Gero apparently had microscopic robots flying all around throughout the whole series, capturing every single scene, but Supreme Kai couldn't be bothered looking upon Earth,
Nah, he's a lazy bastard.
Yeah, I kind of feel like these guys are Kai, like, deities only in title, and everything else about them is pretty lame.
Well, Supreme Kai, like, everyone else is dead, and he's the only one left, so,
What?
Yeah, he said all his buddies got killed.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah, it was like it was like an episode ago, like,
Is
You
when
know.
they're flying to where Popovich was, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess I did miss it. So, like, but not King Kai.
No, like all the other Supreme Kai guys. Like there
Oh,
were, like we learn a little bit more about it later on, but yeah, he's not supposed to be in charge yet.
okay.
Anyway, the title of Kai means nothing.
Yeah,
No,
I
they're all
mean,
garbage.
I've come to the conclusion they're just born into it, and that's basically it. It's like
Yeah, pretty
royalty.
much.
So they all go to Planet Microsoft Zune to fight Alien Head guy, and
Yep.
then they defeat him easily. I'm assuming he's gone for good. Is that right?
I mean, he's dead as fuck.
Yeah, no, he's gone.
All right.
And then here comes, big scary monster person.
Oh yeah, no, that guy's totally not going to be like murdered by Goku.
He's not even a humanoid. He has nothing going for him.
Yeah, seriously, he's just going to die a horrible, horrible death.
Like, this was one episode, this was only one episode, and it was still a gigantic waste of my time.
Yeah. Like they could have powered through both of these fights a lot quicker.
Actually, that's funny because I kind of felt the opposite. I felt like, wow, we got 2 fights in one episode. This is fast.
Yeah, but I mean, both fights were kind of shitty.
I mean, you knew from the get-go that Goku and Vegeta weren't going to have any problems. I mean, they even drew out the whole light Super Saiyan thing too long, in my opinion,
Yeah.
Like, if that's how it was in Kai, I can't imagine how it was back in the old series.
Like each of these fights was like 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. Also, like, I don't... I mean, at least it's kind of funny because, like, they'll drop little funny lines, like when Vegeta, they're like, "Oh, what is this, a game show?" And he's like, "Yeah, a lame show." And like little funny quips from Vegeta are always kind of they make me chuckle because you never hear him usually do that, or I guess when he does do it every once in a while, but it's funny because he's such a stoic character. I like when he says stupid things.
Like he likes the trash talk dudes.
Yeah. And he's also not being a dick, which is really surprising me right now. He's actually kind of playing along with all this.
Well, I mean, he wants his chance to fight Goku, you know? He figures as long as I play along here and we get this done fast enough, we can make it back to the tournament and I can fight Goku.
Ooh, what's this new power? Ooh, shiny.
Yeah, now he's like, oh, god damn it.
Well, I mean, if he really wanted to, he could just destroy each floor and go down. I know Supreme Kai says, something along the lines of...
Supreme Kai is a bitch.
Supreme Kai says something along the lines of, you could awaken Boo early or something like that. But, I mean, it's just an excuse to get the arc going. They had to go down floor by floor. Eventually, they're going to meet up with Babidi. Something's going to happen. They're going to revive Boo, blah, blah, blah. So,
I mean, it makes sense to me that they would do this to kind of escalate. Oh yeah, that Majin Buu is super powerful, but they're actually failing dramatically because these scrubs are not impressing me at all. It's like if you really wanted to build up how powerful Majin Buu is, these enemies they'd be facing right now should be really powerful, but they're like pushovers.
No, I think it's supposed to show how strong everyone else has become.
Oh, okay.
Because, I mean, it was like, we did see how much energy, like, they completely drained Gohan. It was only like half of what Buu can, of half of what they need for Buu. Like, what was it, like just over half. So it's sort of like what they've got to deal with is twice what Gohan's got.
once again, Gohan setting up the bad guy,
Yeah. Well, I mean, the strongest guy from the last arc has always got to, hype up the current bad guy.
Anyway, that's about it for this episode. Let's move on to Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan, episode 28, Southwestward. In this episode, I don't know, guys. There's no hole in the goddamn wall.
Yeah, where'd it go?
I don't know where these Titans come from.
I don't know.
One of them like goes, "Welcome home."
Gee, I have no idea where these Titans could possibly have come from.
Yeah, I think it's. I don't know what's happening, but it's kind of like seems to me that where the dead people are, Titans are appearing, or something to that effect. So
yeah, something to that effect.
Isn't it suspicious that the entire village was empty?
Yeah.
And bloodless?
For the record, though, to be fair, when they said that, my first thought was, wouldn't they just all be in the Titan's stomach?
Well, I mean, you see like the blood everywhere or something.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I mean, because they wouldn't have all been swallowed whole, so.
Right. Yeah, they do bite people in half.
But no, in case it's not obvious, those guys totally got turned into Titans.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking with Croc, I think it was the day of or the day after, and he was like, "Oh, those guys totally got turned into Titans." I'm like, "Have you seen this before?" He's like, "No, but I mean, come on." I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know what's happening, but it seems obvious that that was supposed to be his mother or something, like half turned into a Titan or something. And then another interesting revelation, I do, that's so far, even though we're 3 or 4 episodes into this so far, they seem to be really dropping revelation after revelation. And then another one in this episode is the fact that there's Titans around at night.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that shouldn't be a thing, because apparently they're solar powered or whatever.
Right.
I wonder if the Beast Titan walking around had anything to do with that.
I don't know.
He is What's that?
You'll have to watch to find out, huh, man?
Yeah. I was going to say that...
I mean, at this point, it's more you have to watch to confirm what you already know, so...
Right, yeah, it seems logical.
Yeah, that's true.
I just want to say that the Beast Titan has the, goofiest walk. When he walks, he's got, this kind of, strut that he does.
Yeah, and the Beast Titan's got this, hilarious, beer belly.
Yeah.
And those short, stubby legs and the hilariously long arms and just, the pregnant beer belly.
Yeah.
He is truly Mr. Steal Your Girl.
He's the guy your girl tells you not to worry about.
He could sweet talk her.
Aaron is you. Beast Titan is the guy your girl says not to worry about.
All right. So also in this episode, they're building up to Aaron basically repeating his boulder technique, except this time he's going to turn himself into a wall, I assume.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I just want to mention too is that more of this fucking priest. God, I hate this guy.
Everyone hates that guy. I hope he gets eaten horribly.
Yeah. I hope a wall falls on him.
No, bite his legs off and then drop a wall on him.
Yeah. I want the wall to be involved because that's the thing he loves so much. Oh, the wall. We have to protect the secret of the wall. Yeah, I hope a wall slams and crushes you, you dick.
Yeah,
he doesn't give a shit about humanity. He has to protect some stupid secret that nobody gives a fuck about but him.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. I hate characters like this. Characters who probably with a sentence could solve half of humanity's problems, but they're stubborn.
Yeah. I mean, in fairness, there's a lot more going on than it first seems. I mean, I'm talking about the manga goes to crazy places that I'm not really sure it should have gone to, but whatever.
Well, hey, no one was expecting Attack on Titan to become the biggest thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
And then very quickly not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just basing it.
I was just thinking about this recently. Unless you were out of college when Attack on Titan first started airing, imagine how much your life has changed now. It's like if you were in high school, or if you were in middle school or high school, you're about to graduate now. If you're in high school, you're in college now. If you're in college, you're done. And now it's hey, Attack on Titan. It's that was 500 years ago.
Well, maybe it's nostalgia. Maybe they'll watch for nostalgia purposes.
Well, they're clearly not in that amount of numbers, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, part of the problem is sort of the rerun they did originally. I think that sort of soured people on it, because Attack on Titan is the sort of series that works really, really well on your first run through it.
Especially if you're just marathoning.
Yeah, well, I mean, like when you don't know what's coming up and everything is fresh and anything can happen, it works fantastically. But when you're watching it sort of on a rerun, it's sort of like, no, I can see all that coming now. It's not that interesting.
Well, I
Like
mean, also, I think it's. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
I mean, I think it's due to the fact that, like you said, they did take so long between the seasons. Season 1 premiered, what, 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in the meantime, anyone who was really interested, like me, I wanted to see what was going on. I started reading the manga, I mean,
Yeah.
in those 4 years, they're already long.
Yeah.
They've advanced a lot, so. I mean, I think that's part of the reason, it's not just, forget Attack on Titan, but, anyone who is really interested, they've already read the chapters, they already know what's going to happen, so.
Right.
I mean, I think that's part.
Yeah, right. It could be. I think there's also something though. There's a group of people who read manga and then watch the anime because they want to see what they read animated. So I think there's an audience for that too. Right. But it can turn some people off because they're like, well, I've already know what's going to happen.
Yeah, like it's the sort of series that doesn't really work great on rewatches. So there's not as many people who are going to sit down and say, oh, okay, I'm going to, do a rewatch of, go through the story again.
Well, I mean, this is all new to a lot of people.
Yes.
And I don't know, I can't really speak to the ratings aspect of it, but I will say personally, I'm enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would. Because when they announced season 2 of Attack on Titan for Toonami, I was like, I think I was still in that rerun mindset where I was like, I like the Attack on Titan, but the reruns kind of, I don't know.
You on it.
Yeah, they did. It did sour me, but I'm enjoying this a lot because I think it's all fresh,
Also, it's 12 episodes.
Yeah.
And it's 12 episodes of the most fast-paced stuff in the manga.
I think you've hit the nail on the head. That's it. The pacing is way better this time too.
Yeah, it's part of it is because they're not stretching out one chapter, one episode this time. They're sort of cramming a lot of stuff together. Like they let it run long enough where they don't have to worry about catching up. And not only that, they're like, all right, we're only going to do this arc, so we don't have to worry about pacing. We'll just, go through it as best we can.
And I mean, also coincidentally, these are some of the better chapters of the manga.
Oh, definitely.
Opinion,
as far as for what I read, this is the best part of the manga.
Yeah.
This is right before it sticks its head so far up its own ass, it's brushing its...
It does do that at one point, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not, but, kind of spoilers, but, the arc after this, I believe, literally has no Titans in it.
It's not so much that one where I fell off it. It's the one we're in right this second. I'm sort of like, I don't give a shit about any of this. Just go back to,
monsters crushing each other.
Yeah, I don't care about sort of any of the crap that's going on right now and I mean, it also doesn't help that I can't go into my complaints without spoilers. Damn
well,
it.
Just don't say it. Just say that you're upset. That's all you got to
say. I'm upset with where the focus of the manga is at this exact moment. I don't care about it.
Gotcha.
I feel you.
Anyway, let's move on to Tokyo Ghoul. Tokyo Ghoul, Episode 6, Cloudburst. That stupid thing from Arkham Knight.
I actually didn't play that game.
It's all right. If you really like the Arkham games, you'll probably like that one.
I really liked the other 3. I've got a decent PC.
Oh, if you liked Origins, then... But also avoid the PC unless you just built it this year.
Yeah. No, I know. That's the problem I had was I have a really good PC and it can play damn near anything except Arkham Knight.
Anyway,
everything else in the known universe I can play. Yeah, Tokyo Ghoul.
And
it's just that one game I can't... can you tell that everyone's sort of not in a giant rush to talk about Tokyo Ghoul?
In this episode of Tokyo Ghoul, there's a fight in the church. By the way, that guy took the girl to eat her in the church because the church, of course.
Wait, wasn't that last episode?
It's both.
Well, yeah.
Or the episode before that. I thought this one was the one with the alleyway.
Well, I mean, they
that
sort
was
of combined.
all this episode.
Yeah. They just rushed through it. At the beginning, she takes a bite out of what's his face, and then she grows wings, and I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I didn't care about that stuff.
Also, I like how the main character is just what's his face.
Well, I mean, he's got that dumbass eye patch. Like, give him something cool. Well, like, you got to have that one that makes him look like a derp.
Here, I said last week that this guy has absolutely nothing going on as a character, and this episode proves it even more because I can't remember anything that he did this week. I can remember things other characters did, like the girl Toka or whatever, and the French Hisoka guy getting his arm knocked off, and then the little girl and her dad. Like, I remember all of that. If you told me that the main character wasn't in this episode, I'd believe you because I don't remember him being there.
Yeah, that's
he's
sort
like
of the
problem.
farthest
away third-person narrator in this episode.
Yeah, like that's sort of the problem right now is he's just along for the ride. Like he's not affecting the events of the story, or like he's barely being affected by the events of the story. Like he's very passive. He's not active. He's not shaping anything. Like, okay,
his biggest role is being bait for that French guy.
Yeah, like as much as we all like shit talk Naruto and stuff, like at least Naruto will actively like shape the events around him. You know, like if he's not in an episode, you can tell he's not there.
Yeah, this guy's like a nothing.
Yeah, this guy is very invisible. And I do hope that changes soon, if only because it'll be easier to watch if it does.
Well, I mean, the biggest problem with him is that there's no motivation to his character. I mean, he doesn't want to do anything. Yeah. He's just there like, just wants to live his normal life. But I mean, that's not interesting, you know? I mean, he needs something to do, something to strive for to make us feel like.
I mean, him wanting to live a normal life, it could be interesting if he was actively trying to do that and like stuff kept getting in the way and he kept trying to struggle against that stuff. Like that could be an interesting like thing, but like it's sort of like
he is just a narrative. He's just a narrative tool to basically be an audience surrogate to like look at this crazy world of ghouls, and he's there to be us.
Yeah,
and that's it. And he doesn't add anything to the story. He's just observing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Toka decides she's going to kill this girl because this is an edgelord show.
Yeah.
And then the blindfold goes off and she's like, "You're pretty." And she's like, "I'm going to fuck off to the roof of this church." Also because this is an edgelord show.
Well, she went full emo because apparently she's not allowed to look pretty. So when she heard that someone called her pretty, she went into her shell.
Oh God.
And I'm sure we're gonna have a scene where no-name protag comes into her room and is like, "No, you're really pretty, you're really cute," and then she'll be like, "Really?" And that's basically what's gonna be. Yeah.
Oh, just shoot me now. like I liked where the episode ended though.
Yes.
Like not how they got into that situation, but that situation in and of itself. Like it felt like what this series itself should be doing the entire time.
You mean the humans versus ghoul stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I feel like that's where all the real conflict is. Like this ghoul political, we're gonna fight each other crap. It's kind of boring.
I'm actually
the humans are the interesting guys.
Except for that one weird old guy who just makes me laugh every time I see him because he's
he's amazing.
He's funny. I will give him that.
Yeah.
The other thing I'm kind of genuinely curious about is like, what the hell is with these hand tools? You got some ghoul guy making like hand tools for ghouls, and that's like a big deal. And I'm like, it's a fucking wrench. I don't get it. Yeah. So I'm curious to see what that's about, I guess.
I actually forgot. Wait, was that this episode?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was this episode. Yeah.
God damn, did I sleep through this?
Remember the dad died, and then the whole episode is the most edgelordiest stuff where they're like, I can't wait for Daddy to see this. He's going to love this. And the dad is like just dying. Like they cut to the dad like being practically decapitated, and the little girl's like, oh, I'm going to go run and see Daddy. Daddy will be great. And Dad is like just practically dead.
Oh, God.
Also, apparently that was a flashback.
What? Oh, I did not catch that.
Oh, well, this is another thing that just dropped from the manga.
So he's already been dead for a while, what you're saying.
Is that right?
I guess.
I actually don't know.
I mean, like, if we can't tell if something is a flashback, that's not good. Like it should be fairly obvious to, the viewer that, hey, this is not happening at this exact moment. This is happening, like, in the past.
Yeah, they sure cut it the way that it seemed like it was happening at the same time.
Yeah, like, throw a filter over that or something. Like, make it, do, like, one of them Ken Burns documentary shits. Just, like, make it sort of grainy and sepia or whatever however you pronounce it, and just be like, just grainy and sepia, and just like Ken Burns narration, just do that so we know that, hey, this is, in the past.
And so Mary Poppins fucked that guy up.
Oh, Mary Poppins, y'all! God, I love that movie.
Did everyone see that movie? Of course you did. Moving on.
Yeah,
we saw it.
Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter episode 50, Ally and Sword. In this episode, appraising. It gets you out of jams.
Yeah,
I don't understand that. Can someone explain to me what they learned that made them go, oh yeah, we can go through walls?
No, remember when they were talking about getting the treasure out of the treasure chest? And they were saying they were going through different ways to get it out. Like, you can just force it open and then glue it back shut, but you can notice that. Or you can sort of force part of it open and then try and repair that. But, you look for that. Or you can take apart where, nobody's really going to look at it because that's not where the seam is. Sort of drill a hole in it and get the treasure out that way and then repair it. Basically, instead of going for...
Oh, so let me get this straight. So what you're saying is that it just happened to be something that Gon was thinking about, and then it gave them the idea? Because, why didn't Gon just go, hey, Killua, let's just go through the walls?
See, I think that it was a small room. I think it was trying to tell Killua, like, hey, we can just, go out to sides because we got Nen and shit, but he didn't want the, other guy to know that was the plan.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like, he was trying to communicate sneaky.
The technique they were talking about is the one where you were right. You were on the right track. Yeah. It's where they drill a hole through the side and then seal that hole so that the original seam doesn't look like it's been tampered with. That's what he did. He broke through the wall and he broke through another wall, but then he went through the door instead of the second hole in the wall.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. All right, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
that's the trick he remembered. Go on, sorry.
I really liked this episode, if only, it wasn't, hugely action-packed or anything, but it was really tense, and, it showed that, you can just put 3 guys in a room and it could be really captivating. I remember more of this than I do of Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah. Also, this show is doing something really unexpected, and it's making the Phantom Troop like these gray area characters, where they're clearly bad guys, but it doesn't portray them that way. And so, the Nobunaga guy, he's kind of being nice to him. I mean, yeah, he's holding them there in a way to kind of show, to recruit them, but he doesn't he's flat out saying, I don't want to kill you.
Yeah.
It's weird.
There's a bit of their backstory that's coming up later on, I think. It's sort of general backstory, but when you find out sort of where these guys came from, it's sort of like, oh, you know, like you still want Kurapika to go and, you know, murder them all horribly, but, you know, you'll feel a little bad about it as he does.
A little bit.
No, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Not like a lot,
right.
but, you know, just like, you'll be like, oh, I kind of liked that guy. But he totally deserved it.
Yeah.
Well, it just makes for interesting bad guys.
Yeah.
Bad guys who just aren't Mr. McEvil. Like, these guys are kind of like, they're friends with each other. They kind of help each other, but they're murderers, and it's weird. It's interesting, though. I mean, when I say weird, I mean, like, it's, like, intriguing. I like it.
Yeah, like, there's room for, like, you know, bad guy Space Hitler or whatever, you know, like, you can have those cheesy, hammy, like, over-the-top bad guys, but it's a nice change of pace from what you usually get.
I'm expecting that character to be Crollo Lucifer.
No, he's actually a pretty good dude.
Is he really? No way.
I mean, his name is Crollo Lucifer.
Like, he has to be basic. I mean, I was going to say, like, you can't even call him, like, nice or bad guy Space Hitler. His name is Crollo Lucifer. Like, it's bad enough.
Yeah, I mean, he does have a bad guy Space Hitler name.
He does, yeah.
Hitler von Sittenstein.
Hitler von Nuke People, you know.
No, it's like he's a fairly interesting character.
No, that's this series in a nutshell to me.
Yeah, like this arc, I've sort of described it as what would happen if you took shonen protagonists and put them in a seinen series. Because I think that's the sort of the best way you can get to, like, describe how this arc works.
And then Tokyo Ghoul is, what if you took a seinen series and made it garbage?
And you added Hot Topic.
Oh, God. There is a lot of Hot Topic in that show.
Anyway, do you guys want to yada yada through Gundam?
Yeah, your mic is kind of breaking up a bit. Shad, what did you think of Hunter x Hunter?
Oh, I mean, I thought it was a good episode. What I really like about Hunter x Hunter and, you know, Yu Yu Hakusho is that, I mean, they're not just going through interesting stories, but the characters themselves are likable, you know. I mean, like you said, the fandom troop, you know, they're not just evil. They're all really likable people. I mean, sure, you know, they kill entire villages for money, but I mean, you know, you can't hate them, you know. So I agree with you there that the characters are the best part of Hunter x Hunter. You know, I mean, the story's great too, the action's great, but you really get to love the characters as you go through the arcs.
Yeah, it's an interesting point you just made that I kind of just realized is that there's nothing about the story in Hunter x Hunter that I like. The story's kind of dumb, but the characters are great, and they're like more than enough to make a good show.
Yeah, the characters are very much driving where the story goes. Like
the story itself is like, oh, somebody wants revenge. Oh, they gotta go find a video game cartridge. It's like, who cares? But the characters and watching them act, that's all you need.
Yeah, the characters and the setting and all that is more than enough to, like, you don't need a very complicated plot to make it interesting because, you know, the setting and the characters, they're complicated enough.
Yeah. So, I'm sorry, you were going to move on to Unicorn, right?
Yeah, I was just going to yada through Unicorn really quick.
Okay.
Monster Gundam Unicorn, episode 18, Fateful Battle. In this episode, yada yada yada.
Well, I do want to mention not so much about the episode, but that we had a new opening, and it was really good.
Yeah, I liked it. I'm like, wait, did we always have an opening?
I think they do like a bunch of one-off openings now, apparently.
Yeah, I was sort of like, oh, where did this come from? I don't remember, you know, this. This is really cool. I'm like, did I fall asleep during it the other times?
It's again, it's another one of those situations where, like, this opening is like too good for this show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the animation is too good for the show.
Yeah, I think the whole opening's too good. I mean, like, I like the music too. I thought it was a good, well-animated, well-designed opening for a show that I just don't care about.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I have.
Anyway, in this episode, fuck Riddy.
Oh, and Riddy's a new type.
Yeah, everyone's a new type.
No, everyone's a fucking space magician.
Space Jesus. Everyone is Space Jesus.
I can't get over the fact that this show literally revolves around the fact that people who are born in space have magic powers, but yet their magic powers just control robots. It's like, what? Why don't you just have robots do robot things? Why do they have to be magic robots?
You know what show doesn't have magical space bullshit in it?
What's that?
Iron-Blooded Orphans.
Yes. Doesn't it? I don't
Also
know.
a pure positive for that show. No bullshit space magic.
Well, I mean, there's still, like, the entire plot is driven by the hair gel minds of Uranus.
Yeah, let's not forget, what was the name of that place?
Dorf.
No, it's not Dorf.
I was going to say Edmonton.
Dort, with a T.
Dort.
Dort. There we go. Dort. And Edmonton, of all places.
You know what? I can't even harp on on IBO anymore. Like it would be such an improvement over the show we're watching now.
Yeah, I mean when it eventually comes back, I'll complain about it then. But
I don't know. I've heard it's better in second season. That's what I've heard.
I don't know. I haven't been watching.
Yeah.
It goes some places.
Well, it's got to be better than this.
Is that over, by the way? Like, was there only supposed to be 2 seasons of IBO, or is there something else going on after that?
The second season is like, they're both 50 episode things. So, 25 episode things. So it's probably still ongoing.
Based on the list of people who die in that second season, that's it.
Damn. It's got to be a hell of a list.
Yes. Anyway, let's move on to Naruto Shippuden. Naruto Shippuden, episode 157, Assault on the Leaf Village. What's up, guys? Pain time.
That one of the Pain guys has a rocket launcher arm.
One of those pains is literally, I shoved an entire tank into this dude.
Which is awesome. I mean, you would if you could.
Yeah, here's one of my paths of pain. He's literally just 57 guns sticking out in all directions.
Wait, hang on. Am I the only... hang on. You're kind of breaking up for me.
What?
Your voice is coming in crackly and whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah, it is for me too. It has been for about a couple minutes now. I mean, unless you unplug your microphone or something, I don't know how you'd fix it. So.
Yeah.
Give me a sec.
Okay.
And now it's going to get worse.
Maybe. We'll see.
How's that?
Talk for like 10 seconds.
So, Pain, he has literally one path of Pain that is literally just 57 guns pointed in all directions.
No, it's still doing it.
It's the same.
Can you... Well, you can't close the session because you're recording it. All right, we'll just have to live with it. We're so close to the end anyway.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. Yeah, I mean, they just shoved a tank in that one guy.
I mean, it's even more ridiculous when you think about it, because these are supposed to be the legendary ninja god eye powers, and I mean, one of them is literally just tank eye. I mean.
Yeah, it's just like here's like a laser in your helmet, in your head, and like your arm is a rocket launcher. It's just like, are you serious right now? At least that one guy has like, endless summons. It's like you're just like a tank.
Here's the funny thing to me about this episode is that Glasses Nerd Girl, who's doing the autopsy, she pulls those rods out of one of these dead guys, and she puts it like under a microscope and all this other stuff, and then she says, "Oh, I'm getting high frequency chakra readings from these." And I'm thinking, what? Is chakra like radioactive? How does that work?
The fuck is that? I know. It's like that. It's like identifying wood. Yep, that's wood.
But like, are they saying like chakra could be measured with an e-meter, or what are they saying here? Like, is it something
I
you
don't
can?
know.
I don't get it.
She just pulls out the rods. It's like, new types.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Anyway, at this point, people are just actively trying to not figure out the pain thing. It's like, the real one is not among them. These rods in their bodies are receiving chakra. I think the paper girl is behind this.
Yeah.
No, it's the girl that's with Sasuke, whatever her name is.
Yeah, it's all Karen's fault.
You mean slippery when wet?
Yes. Thank you. I was trying to remember her name. No, not to completely diss the episode, because there is one thing I thought was really cool, and I think it's basically what you guys were talking about all along about the pain arc being good, and that is, like, I don't think in all the time I've been watching Naruto on Toonami, I've ever seen the Leaf Village just straight up get smoked like this.
Yeah,
like,
no, they got it.
I mean, the last time was at the end of the Chunin exams that anything close to this happened.
Right, and so it's kind of cool to see, like, they're really hitting home, and
that was an army. This is one dude who has like he has 7 bodies, but still one dude.
Yeah, blowing up houses, and yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean that one guy ripped some poor schmuck's soul from his body and ate it.
Yeah.
One thing I didn't like about this episode is that he, like, apparently this stuff is just going to use Japanese names for these paths, and it's like, I'm used to, like, the Asura path, and etc. And when he says it, it's like, okay, blah, blah, blah goes over there, I'm like, which one, which fucker is that? I don't know.
Whatever.
Why, was it in the manga different? Is that what you're saying?
Like, at least in scanlations, at least. They're all called the blank path.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I think that's how it is in the official manga too. So I mean, you're not wrong. They did leave that in for some reason, but minor complaint, I guess.
Maybe it was like a flip flaps thing.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, that's usually why they change it. Yeah.
Like, it's like, okay, we can't make it not awkward for him to say blank path, so we'll just have him say the Japanese word.
That's where you get stupid shit like Jiraiya boy.
Yeah. Well, Viz is all like with Bleach and with this, Viz loves their very literal translations.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
at least when they don't care to do it better.
I was gonna say, like, I remember Bleach having tons of Japanese names in it.
Well, that's because they just didn't care.
I remember being like, they would talk about like their powers, and like, as someone who never watched Bleach, I was just like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was just like all Japanese. They couldn't even be bothered to translate most of it.
But then sometimes they'll translate stuff that, like, a proper name, which, why would you translate a proper name like that?
Translate the explanation.
Yeah, it's weird. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, it's not, this arc so far has been okay. I mean, I actually, it's kind of funny. It's been a while since I've loathed Shippuden. It's actually mildly entertaining now. I'm kind of watching it with interest.
Yeah, this arc it's fairly good, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
sorry, go on.
Oh, I was just going to say, I mean, it's not like I'm like, waited with bated breath to see the next episode, but when it's on, I'm like, oh, okay, I'll watch this. Cool, it's good. I mean, I would have watched it anyway for this, but I mean, like, at least I'm kind of like genuinely interested.
I mean, this is one of the better arcs in the series. You get a lot of, I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, but they are going to focus on a lot of the side characters. You're going to see some of the characters that don't really get some screen time. I think you'll like this arc a lot. Everyone kind of agrees that this is best on its own. Yeah. So, I'm looking forward to. I've read the manga, I've seen the show, but it's always nice to see it again.
Yeah.
Anyway, that'll about do it for this episode of ToonamiGAF podcast. Thank you, B-Dubs.
Okay.
Thank you, C-Caller.
No problem.
And thank you, Schadenfreude.
No problem.
We'll see you guys next week for episode 57. Good night.